It is finally here, the real estate chase. And I have to my left Cosette. How are you tonight, Cosette?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
I am glad to be here too. It's been a great day. How about your day?
Man, I'm pulling 12 hours. It's great. We're going strong.
Well, tonight we have someone very, very, very special on the show tonight. Mechelle.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm special.
Yes, you are, especially on Instagram. Hashtag Ask
Ask
Mechelle.
Michelle.
That's me.
So,
That's
Mechelle, tell us about yourself.
Well, my professional self?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Start with where you're from.
Yes.
Well,
Your roots.
I'm from New York.
Okay.
Well, let me step back. Let me go way back. I'm originally from New Orleans,
There you go.
moved to New York, spent the majority of my life in New York. I came here to Hampton Roads in December 2002.
Okay.
2002, and I cried. I miss New York. And but when I go back to visit, I'm always ready to come back. After the weekend is over, it's like it's time to go back home.
Miss Virginia.
That's right. I miss Virginia. So yes, I am married 15 years now.
Okay.
Just celebrated my 15-year anniversary. I have 3 children, 2 grown children, and 1 10-year-old, 1 daughter. So she is the last one at home, and we're looking forward to getting her out. Yeah, and that's me. I have a twin sister. Nobody knows that about
I
me.
didn't know that. You don't put it on your Instagram.
Well, she's not on social media.
What is her name? Does she got a shell on the end?
No, well, her name is Giselle.
See? It's close.
There's an L.
It's close.
Giselle and Mechelle. Yes, but her nickname is Dee Dee because nobody could pronounce Giselle. They
Okay.
called her Jezebel, everything but Giselle. So yeah, her name is Dee Dee, and we're the Brady Bunch family. So it's 3 girls and 3 boys.
Okay.
Yep, and me and my twin are the youngest of 6.
Okay.
So, and we're here. We're all in here. Well, 4 of us is here in Virginia.
Well, we are so excited for to have you on the show tonight. This is our first episode, and it's called The Real Estate Chase. And this show is about people in the real estate world, like all of us, just where we can come and talk and let our hair down and have a good time. It's about the real estate chase, as in how do you get from point A to point B, and what are you doing in your business, and what do you see in the business, and just everything. We're talking about everything.
Okay. Do I get to ask questions?
Sure. Ask Mechelle.
I just want to know, how do you let your hair down?
How do I let my hair down? Well, that's a great question. I let my hair down on this podcast. That is what we want to do. I have a good time. I have a real good time.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to have a great show tonight. Let's just jump right in. Let's start with a serious topic. The importance of people buying a home versus renting. What do you think about that?
My opinion, I think, is financial stability.
Okay.
I think that's the important reason why you should buy a home instead of renting. Once you purchase that home, not even the financial stability, just the financial safety net.
Okay.
Because once you buy a home and build equity, that money is there in that property for you, where when you're renting, it's kind of like you're just throwing your money down the toilet.
Okay. And I heard you say you've been here since 2002. Have you been in this business since 2002, or how long have you been in the business?
Well, I actually got my license. I took the real estate exam in 95.
Whoa. You know what I was doing in 95?
Don't answer that question.
Well, actually, if you go back a little further, I was the paralegal in a real estate law firm.
Okay.
So that's how I really got into the business. I did not like being a paralegal. It was before we were Googling everything. So they would send me to the library to research everything. Wow. And yeah, I got kind of tired of that.
So you was in the deed room with book by book, page by
Yes,
page.
yes.
Okay.
That's interesting. I didn't know we had that in common. My first career was a paralegal.
Really?
And then we go to the library and you get the big books, and you got to look up the deed, and you got to look up the plot.
everything. Yes.
So if I ever get in trouble, I know who to call. One of y'all.
Two paralegals.
Right.
Yep. So life happened. I didn't like it. I just had to get a job. I started working for Verizon, and I was making them a lot of money. And I was like, I got to do this for myself. And I knew I was interested in real estate. So I took the test back in 95, didn't do anything with it. Was working part-time. And then back in 2008, I took the test again. And then I came on in 2009.
Okay. Mm-hmm. 09. What was I doing in 09?
Recession.
Oh, hey, it wasn't a recession. I was staying on. We're going to talk about that one on another show.
Surviving.
So, Cosette, since this is our first show, tell us about yourself as well. You know, because now I'm interested because Mechelle was a paralegal and you were a paralegal, and now both of y'all are super amazing. What's another great word? Beautimous.
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Agents. Not on the dictionary, but I like beautimous.
Agents. So tell us about yourself, Cosette.
All right. I'll start with my roots. I was born in Alaska.
Wow.
And my dad was military. And so we moved every 3 years of my life. And I decided I did not want to marry a military man. Respect the heck out of the military. But I like my man here with me. And so we retired here in Virginia. And Virginia, Hampton Roads, #1 military.
Yes.
#1 military base in the world,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
35 to 40% of our sales are military relocation. So this is a great area to sell real estate because our resale is 3 to 5 years. So retired here in Virginia after trekking from Alaska to Florida to Texas to Virginia. And my first career was a paralegal. Started as a file clerk, worked my way up, ended up being an office manager of the law firm. My boss wanted me to become a lawyer, but I don't like arguing. But I love casework. I love files. I love paperwork. I love numbers. I love forms, unlike most people I know, but I nerd out on that stuff. And so that quickly became something that turned into real estate. And I actually started working with construction.
Okay.
Right. So flipping houses, short sales back in 08, 09, that was, man, that, like, if you were set yourself right for the market, like people ask all the time, is it a good market? The answer is always yes. Mm-hmm. It's a great market if you know what market you're in and how to sell it. So I got my license back in 02. So I've been licensed just under 18 years now. But that was a journey. You know, I just spoke to a real estate school tonight and I said, there is no one size fits all. There's no one path in real estate. You've got a lot of different avenues.
Right. We
all have different journeys in real estate. We all have different niches and different expertise. And so that turned into running a real estate career. And then they asked me to come into leadership, which, you know, there's patterns in life. If you study yourself, if you watch yourself, there's patterns, there's talent, there's skill sets. And apparently I like management. And so I ended up in leadership and managing the office, and I love it. Shout
out to the office. Keller Williams, Coastal Virginia.
Yeah, right here.
Yes.
No, but people ask me all the time, do you miss sales? Do you miss, you know, if you didn't do this, would you go back into sales? And I liked sales when I was in it, but what I like more is my agents. I like our office. I like our culture. I like empowering people and growing their businesses and helping people grow themselves. And that's where I really find Keller Williams, you know, both you know, right. We have our big why. And a big why is not necessarily a material purpose or goal, but what defines you, what your purpose in life is. Mm-hmm. And my first why was a car, a house, or this or that, until it took me about 3 years to really identify my big why is to empower people. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, we all have our skills and our contributions to the office, what we bring to the table to our clients, to our coworkers, our associates. And that's what I really found that I really enjoyed.
Well, you know what? Every time I see you, you are so professional. I can't picture you in the work boots.
Girl, I had a tool belt. I had a truck. I had boots. A hoodie, yes, I will get down and dirty.
Let me kind of jump on the why, because I see again that both of you guys are paralegals, and you guys both seem, to have a vision for something better than that you wanted to do. Even when you said as you was in sales, you wanted to become in leadership. What stops people in the home buying process? What stops people from purchasing the home? Like, what do you think are the hiccups, or they're afraid? Like, what do you think stops them from taking that step? And when they
credit
always say,
score,
okay,
DTI,
okay,
fear. You said it though. What fear?
That's what I was going to say.
Fear of ownership.
And
That's a big one.
A lot of times it's just the fear of the unknown. They have not been, a lot of people haven't been brought up that way.
Okay.
So their parents may have rented all their lives.
Okay.
So they just feel like that's just the right thing to do. I got my own apartment, or I'm renting a house.
And hey, that's a great accomplishment. When you rent your first place, that's a big accomplishment. You should be excited about that. But you nailed it. And the term I like to use is generational curses.
Yes.
Because we are victim to the environment and the upbringing we were brought up in. But you can be victim, or you can grow from it. You can grow beyond it and have bigger goals and dreams.
Yeah,
that is true. And I think it's more as in people not really educated on the home buying process.
Being knowledgeable.
And being knowledgeable. And I think somebody else close to them have to do it. Or it has to be an influence there.
Your circle of five.
Yeah.
Sphere of influence.
Yeah, the sphere of influence. I think it has to be an influence there, as in someone else purchased a house and they seen their story. Like,
I mean, not to keep up with the Joneses, but if all your friends are homeowners and you're a renter, it makes you want to be a homeowner. If everybody you know rents, then you're renting. Yeah. So the sphere of influence is very, very big. If you study it, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So you got to stop and look at, who am I spending time with? And am I the average of them? Am I at the bottom of the barrel? Am I at the top of the barrel? Should I get into a new sphere of 5? And you should always, and that's one thing I love about our company, is we don't stand still. This isn't just real estate. This is a lifestyle. That is true. This is about growth. This is about opportunities, about creating the life you want to live. And if you're not living the life you want to live, you want to get around people that are, because you will aspire to be what you're around. So if you don't like who you are or what your situation is, change your situation, and you will grow into that if you surround yourself with it.
Now, Mechelle, let me ask you a question. So when you get a client that is afraid, never bought a house before, how do you handle that client?
Oh, those are my favorite, because when they've never bought a house before, it's kind of like you come in, you taking this new sales job, but you've never done sales before. So you coming in to learn it, and you have no bad habits for me to break, because you never done it before. But if you came from
I bought a house 20 years ago. I know how this works.
Exactly. So when you get the people who've already purchased a home before, they know how it works. They know everything about the contract. So you kind of butt heads with them when you're trying to explain to them what's new. And we all know in real estate, it changes every day.
Every day.
So the new people who never purchased a home before, those are the people that I love. I can hold their hand through the process, and they want me to hold their hand through the process. And we pretty much just go from there.
They're excited and nervous and anxious, and it's all rolled into this bottle of this ball of energy. And so you have to let them know it's okay. I mean, that's the number one job of a realtor, is to let them know, I've got you. It's going to be okay.
Right.
Before we sell a house, we have to develop a relationship with the client.
Right.
And you have to gain their trust. Mark my words, this is a people business, not a house business. Okay.
Right.
That's just the product on the shelf we're selling.
Right.
I don't care if it's hairspray or green beans or houses. You won't sell anything to anybody until you've developed rapport and trust with somebody.
Right. And I love both of you guys' answers. And while y'all was talking, I want to say congratulations, Mechelle, on your new position.
Thank you.
Ask
Yes.
Mechelle.
Thank you.
Broker.
Thank you.
Broker. Tell us about that.
Well, it's exciting.
Let me ring the bell one more time. It is exciting. Yes.
I thought the bell was for bad stuff.
It's for everything.
Well, you know what? It's really exciting because just like she said, you got to know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And in this business, what I've been doing it so long, I kind of realized that everybody, you can be an agent, but if you're not that person who you got to know where your qualities work at. So I know for me, I work well in that department of educating or training in that particular field. So I would love to have this big real estate team, but I probably would have somebody else run it while I'm training my people.
Okay.
So, a lot of times people have egos where they got to be the boss, be in charge. I'm number one. That's not me. I don't have to have that title.
Okay.
So it's just more of knowing who you are and knowing where you fit well at. I said on my other show, Ask Mechelle what we learn in bold. Okay. Ask Mechelle.
Hashtag Ask Mechelle.
Bold laws.
Yeah, the bold law was the purpose of business is to fund the perfect life. So for me, it's not always, my perfect life is not to be a real estate agent.
Okay.
For the rest of my life. So this is my business and I'm hoping that I'm doing it well so it will fund that perfect life. That perfect life for me might be being a teacher, teaching kindergarten. You never know. Yeah. So you got to know where you fit and know who you are and it'll work out. So it works out well with me being the broker because I love helping other people.
Can I jump in and
of course.
Ring the bell and toot Michelle's horn a little bit right now, because Mechelle and I had a conversation, as she came into being broker. Now back to your big why and what really sets Keller Williams apart from most brokerages. We don't just focus on contracts. We're not just saying we want agents go sell houses, make us money. No, we are funding lives. We want you to create a business to fund the life that you want to live. But part of that is identifying who you are, where your strengths are, and really shining in those areas. And so that is all wrapped up into your self-mastery. And so one thing that Mechelle and I have in common is we love our people. And that is the number one thing for me is you cannot lead without compassion. And good leaders create good leaders. Good leaders don't create followers. Those are called dictators. Okay. Right. And that's what I loved about Mechelle when I came to Mechelle and said, what do you think about this? And she said, I already take care of the people. I already take care of everybody. I already answer questions. And I said, I made a joke at team meeting this week. You didn't know what you were doing when you made hashtag Ask Mechelle, because now everybody's going to ask Mechelle because now you're the broker. Yep. But truly, when you talk about where you shine and what you do, you care about people. And you can look them in the eye and say you did wrong, you didn't do right, or hey, this is a growing experience, an educational experience, and they will thank you and love you for it because you come from compassion, you come from contribution, and you come from a place of love. Because, hey, guys, whether it's life or real estate, we make mistakes. Right. We fall down, we get bumps, we get bruises, we get scars, but they heal and we grow and we learn from them. If you're in a place that people love you. Yeah. And that's what Mechelle brings to the table.
Wow. And that was amazing. Let's tell the people that's listening to the Real Estate Chase, what is your position at Keller Williams, Coastal Virginia?
So my title, I have two titles: CEO, which is all the things nobody knows I do, behind the scenes, management stuff, and then team leader. Okay. Team leader, leading my team of agents. We have over 180 agents here, which is a very large office, but you don't feel that. You feel like it's a tight-knit, family-oriented family. I mean, you are my brother. You are my sister. We are family. We can cry together. We can laugh together. We can talk about what happens at many home times. Or business. I mean, there is no boundaries. We talk about everything we share because we know it's a safe place. And we know that there's boundaries and there's respect and there's confidentiality, because you will only be as good out there in your business and in life as you are inside. And that's why it is important to us that we work on what's going on at home or going on inside, and that we work on your business. And so if I were to give myself a title, it'd actually be like business developer. That's what I excel at. Let's develop your business, whether it's real estate, or this morning when I'm talking to the real estate school, like, I don't care if you're selling Mary Kay or cars or houses. You own a business and you have a product, and you have to develop a database and a sphere of influence and all of that. And you have to pour into that. But if you come from contribution and you let the people know you love and care about them, then they know that you have their best interest. And there's a word I love called fiduciary. And we want to be fiduciaries, because a lot of people have this mindset that car dealers, and it might be true for them, I don't know, but realtors, they just want you to buy the first house you see so I can get paid.
Which is not true.
Which is not true. It is at least not here. It is absolutely not true.
Okay. Well, let's take a second to thank our sponsors for this show today, House Dealers.
House Dealers. Ding,
they're
ding.
amazing. Hold on. House Dealer clothing wear is a lifestyle. And next topic, what I'm gonna jump into is in this business, like I know, real estate agents, realtors, we're always not happy, go lucky, it's not always, hey,
sunshine and rainbows.
Sunshine and rainbows. What is your most frustrating part about this business? Mine is, I know mine is when I'm dealing with another agent on the other side, and they're not reasonable, or they want to be they feel like they're on HGTV, Property Wars, or whatnot, and
they want to fight with you.
They want to fight with you. That is my most frustrating part about the business, because at the end of the day, we're trying to provide someone shelter. Either, they're representing the seller or you're representing the buyer. We both have the common goal of basically helping our clients out. But sometimes you just get that one agent where you just want to explode, and that's what frustrates me about this, Mrs. What about you?
That's a hard question for me.
Oh, you all happy every time?
I pretty much am.
Oh my gosh. This is the real estate chase, Mechelle. You got to give us the real.
I got answers for days, so you better go first.
Okay, so what frustrates me the most, I would have to say,
Come on, Mechelle, give it to us.
that doesn't, I was going to say, but that really don't frustrate me.
You know what, Mechelle? Let me jump in, because
Yeah,
I
you
know what
jump
I'm
in.
going to say is going to spark all kinds of thoughts in
tell
your
me.
brain. I would say we are blessed, back to being fiduciaries, we are blessed to be with a company whose foundational principle is the win-win. Okay, so I take a lot of phone calls. You're taking phone calls now where people put their emotions in front of professionalism.
Oh my gosh.
That in a nutshell is it right there. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. Your clients, buyers, sellers, it doesn't matter. This is an emotional decision, okay? And we as humans are hardwired to run on emotion, okay? We have to stop the emotion and be able to put the logic first. As agents, when you're talking about dealing with an agent on the other side, a lot of agents will put their emotion in front of their professionalism. So they get mad, or they get activated, I should say, over their client. And it's like, is this your house? Are you moving your family in here? You need to stop, okay? You need to stop acting childish. You need to step back and let's be professionals. Let's be adults about the situation. I had a call today and I said, stop. What is the common goal? We want to get to the closing table.
Right.
Now, how are we going to get there? I don't want to hear this and I don't want to hear that. And it doesn't matter what happened. And she said, he said, what is going to get us to the closing table today? A, B, and C. Okay, how are we going to do A, B, and C? Now let's identify that. Let's get down to it. I don't want to mess with the emotional side of things, okay? But so for me, the biggest pet peeve with working with other agents is we at Keller Williams are looking for the win-win. Okay. I want to know what's important to your seller, and I want you to know what's important to my buyer, so we can have a common goal to get to the closing table. See, a lot of people, here we are paralegals, right? Mm-hmm. And we grew up in a nature where there's opposing forces. Mm-hmm. We go into court and the judge is going to determine who's right and who's wrong. Here's the thing, in a real estate deal transaction, there is no opposite forces. We all have a common goal to close. This person sells their home and this person buys the home, and we have a smooth transaction. So we are not there to battle. We are there to work together as a team. And I think a lot of agents don't see it that way. They get full of themselves and they want to prove that they're right. And it's like, it's not always about being right. It's about doing what's right. Even if I got to swallow a little pride, or I got to say, hey, that's a good idea, or maybe I didn't think about that, or, whatever the situation is. But understand that we're not opposing forces. We are all one team. Even though you represent the seller and I represent the buyer, we all want to get to the closing table, and we got to work together in order to do that, not against each other. And I see so many things happen where people just escalate and they get all, and it didn't need to happen because they put their emotions in front of their professionalism.
Amen.
You said all that in a nutshell. Like,
well, you know what? Since we doing the real estate chase, let me tell the truth.
There you go.
Okay, there we go.
I told you I could open her up. Now tell them the truth.
So my most frustrating thing in this business, I've been doing it a long time. So I see people come and go. So we always have friends, family, just our sphere, who always know another agent. So the mother cousin is an agent. Their best friend just became an agent. So people feel obligated to use these other people. So as the process is going on, their agent, agent is not knowledgeable enough to kind of educate them on the process. So they call me. I don't represent you.
Preach.
So someone else is about to make this $7,000, $10,000 working for you. You need to make sure when you pick an agent, you pick somebody who knows what they're doing, or not just because they're popular, or not just because it's your cousin's best friend. Because purchasing a home or selling a home is one of the biggest investments you'll ever make in your life. One of them. So you want to make sure you got the right agent. So yes, that's what frustrates me, when they'll get somebody else, but they'll call me. My agent is doing this. What should I do?
I'm gonna throw something at you, because this was on one of our panels that you did. So here we're saying, like, one of the objections we deal with is when you're working with somebody and they say, oh, I didn't realize my cousin's a realtor. Like, I totally got to use that person, my brother, my sister, whatever. But yet as agents, do we not want our families to use us? Right?
We do.
So there's a catch-22 there, right? And so we've got all kinds of scripts and different language that we use. Like you said, if they're brand new, and you feel obligated to use them, but are they really educated and professional and experienced enough to represent you in the best form? Another one is, all right, Thanksgiving's around the corner. If something goes wrong, how's that Thanksgiving dinner going to go, right? Because I have seen things go down where families,
the turkey fly.
they separate, and all of a sudden nobody wants to talk, because I had somebody, they're suing their cousin because they screwed them out of the deal, and now they want their commission, and they're rightfully so. Like, things go wrong. So it's a dicey business when you want to use your family or your friend. But is it out of obligation? Here's the real question. Are you using them out of obligation, or because you trust them to do the best job for you? That's the question. Because if they can honestly say, I know they will do the best job for me,
then they don't have to call me.
Then they shouldn't be calling you. Then why are you calling me?
Yes.
So let me, one of the questions tonight that came in the email when I was talking about that the real estate chase is coming again. They asked, what exactly does a real estate agent do? What should they look for in a real estate agent?
Well, what we do, the question should be what we don't do. That would be easier to answer, because we do everything.
You take the don't, I'll take the do.
let's do it.
You eliminate all the don'ts.
Yes. Shoot. We don't go shopping for you and buy furniture for your house. We pretty much do everything else.
Don't babysit. Don't pull weeds. A lot of us do.
I mean, I've went and cleaned up houses for people.
Wow.
I had a client that had about 15 dogs. Yeah, me and Nina, we went to the house to clean it up, to put it on the market. I've went wash dishes because my client was at work
Wow.
You would not
And-
believe what realtors do.
And somebody wanted to see the property, and they told me they left their breakfast out.
That's and see, that's because you're a great person,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you go above and beyond. And I guess that's the next question. What should they look for in a real estate agent? Look for someone that is a great person that you can trust.
Honesty.
Honestly.
Now, if I can take a legal spin on that, what are we legally obligated to do? We are obligated to show homes, present offers, negotiate offers, walk through the contract to close process between inspections and walkthroughs and things all the way to the closing table, right? Now, you do have to set some boundaries because a lot of people will overstep. Can you watch my kid? I mean, I could go on and on for hours about the things I've heard. Can you babysit? I mean, I have definitely pulled weeds. I have definitely cleaned a house. I have definitely taken the trash out and done things because we go above and beyond. Also, there's a little bit of wiggle room between what I think is clean and what somebody else might think is clean.
Right.
Right. So I'm showing up for picture day and I said, have this house ready for photography, for, showcase ready. My definition of showcase ready and somebody else's might be totally
It's not
different.
ready.
But let's get down to the principles and values of what you're looking for in an agent. Let's start with the complaints. Number one complaint about realtors, they don't follow through.
Communication.
They don't follow back. They don't come back. They don't communicate.
That is true.
You don't hear from them, right?
That is true.
So I think the number one thing is the professionalism involved. Are they actually looking at this as their profession or is this their hobby? Because we have a little saying in real estate, are you a hobby realtor or are you a career realtor? You're a hobby realtor. You hang around and you just handle a couple of deals that land in your lap from friends and families and neighbors. A career realtor has a business. And a lot of people look down on real estate because, you can just get your license and you can just, no. You are a business owner. And if you're doing it at a high level, you're probably making a good living, right? And you are running a business. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. And speaking to real estate schools and stuff, you are an independent contractor. You're going to receive a 1099. Have you ever owned your own business? If not, you're in for a rude awakening. Because if you're leaving salary or hourly, you are entering an industry where there is no guarantee of pay. And we have a saying, you wake up every day unemployed. Unemployed. I don't care how successful you are, how many contracts and closings you have on the books. Tomorrow you wake up unemployed and your job is to wake up and find some business.
Yeah. I've sat at a lot of consultations where people just didn't ask any questions. They didn't ask any questions.
Does that scare you? Because I feel, and I don't mean to cut you off, but to cut you off. No, but that scares me because every time they don't say nothing in the beginning,
they're just holding back something.
Yeah, and then when you get there at the end, it's like they feel like, oh my gosh, is this? I'm like, you should have asked.
Those are the people where there's a problem along the way. Now they want to give you a bad review, or something comes up later when they don't ask any questions in the beginning. So you got to be very thorough during consultation.
So she nailed it with the consultation. It all starts at the beginning. We had our Ignite class this morning. We talked about this. There is so much you can eliminate or attack or prepare for in the preparation stage of things. And I like to call it being proactive. All right. Whether you're having a listing consultation or a buyer's consultation. And we have in Keller Williams a theory, go 3 deep, right? Have you ever had a real estate experience before? I don't care if it's renting, buying, leasing. Anything. Have you had a real estate experience before? They're going to say yes. If there's a roof over their head, they've had a real estate experience. I don't care if it's a homeless shelter. It's a real estate experience. Okay. And then you say, how was that experience? Would you mind sharing with me what that was, what you went through? And then you ask, what was the greatest thing about that experience? What was the worst thing about that experience? So just like in a listing appointment, when you say, so you've had a realtor before, what was that experience like? Well, it was okay. Well, what was the greatest quality that realtor or experience brought to the table, and what was the worst? They will tell you right there everything you need to know. Well, they were great, except they didn't do any open houses. Now you know it's important to that individual that you do open houses. Well, they never called me back. Well, they said they were going to do something and they didn't. They are telling you everything you need to know. And all you have to do is that, right? And then you have improved their realtor experience and you know where their heartache and their pain is from past experiences.
Cosette, you just gave out a lot of jewels to, the hobby agents that we were just talking about. They're going to be listening to this and like, okay, this is how I need to set up my business now. You guys,
If
please.
people would listen. If only they would listen.
They would
it's not
definitely,
that hard just to talk to people.
You just got to talk to people.
And well, more, not just talk to people. You got to listen.
You
God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
Well, you just got to do the consultation.
That's right.
Most
and stop
agents just
talking
don't do
at
it.
people and start listening to people.
You heard that, agents? I mean,
listen.
What's your Instagram, Cosette?
Cosette Recruits Realtors. Call me.
Yes.
I'll tell you how to do it.
Yes. So, talking about Instagram, hashtag Ask Mechelle. How did you come about that? I love it. I always tune into it. I just love your Instagram. I like putting you on my Instagram. Like, Ask Mechelle. Tell us about it.
Ask Mechelle came because everybody was asking me questions.
Michelle's got that like come ask me anything vibe.
Yes, I do. Well, actually my office here was next to the kitchen. So this is how I'm thinking it really started. It was next to the kitchen. So I got to see everybody every day. So everybody always just popped in to say hello. And and then the kitchen is next to the copy room. So I was seeing everybody come and say hello, popping by.
Hey, let me ask you a question real quick.
That was it. Let me ask you a question real quick. And I'm probably because I'm one of the senior agents here. You've
been here longer than I've been here.
Yeah, when people come in, it's like
before the red wall.
That's right.
Yes. And God bless Debbie. She would bring them to me. Like, Mechelle, she's new. Can you help her with this? Or Mechelle, she's new. So yeah, that's how it came about. Everybody would ask me questions, and I bought a little curtain to put on my window so I can get my own work done, so people could stop asking me.
We had to force that on her.
Yes.
I'm working. Respect it.
And I tried so many things with something on the door, and then I would just leave the door open anyway. So I enjoyed the company, but it did keep me from doing a lot of my own work. So I've been practicing really a lot lately on how to say no. Really. So yeah. And it's not that I'm saying no. It's just
not right now.
Not right now.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Well, before we end this show, the real estate Chase, what books are you reading?
The Compound Effect.
The Compound Effect.
One.
And I'm not reading it, I'm listening to it.
I have that too. It's on my nightstand.
It's
DVD.
Yeah, I have the book, I have it on audio right now, so I've been listening to that, and I'm listening to Make Your Bed.
Okay.
Yeah, Make Your Bed.
What is Make Your Bed about?
It's kind of like the Compound Effect. Just telling you just different things entrepreneurs should be doing in their lives, like making your bed first thing in the morning, how that helps you throughout the day. So it's interesting. Mm-hmm. My pastor actually told me to read that one.
Hey, I love your pastor.
You do?
What? Hey, hold on. Don't tell me his name. Tell me his name.
Pastor Victor Johnson.
Vic, that's his name. That is his name.
And he builds houses, so that's how Chase knows him. Mm-hmm.
He does. So, Cosette, what are you reading?
Please ask me the book question.
Yes. What are you reading, Cosette?
You know I love books. I think I just lost my volume there a little bit. All right. So I'm reading Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, and which is on hostage negotiations by he's written by an FBI hostage negotiator. Yeah, you wouldn't think that real estate has hostages, but
I was going to say, why that?
Yeah, why that?
Well, the main premise of it is there's a lot of distance between the yes and the no. And just because somebody says no, because no is an inherent reaction as a protection. I don't even know necessarily what you said, but if I say no, which you and I are not good at saying no, but most people's reaction is no as a protection. And then they have time to go back and think about maybe saying yes or why they want to say yes. So it's more about just language and sociology and how to talk somebody, how to speak to them the way that they need to be spoken to. And it's fascinating. But if I were to recommend 4 books, okay, if anybody's listening and you're starting and you want to get into book reading, number 1, The Miracle Morning. Now, we have The Miracle Morning for realtors.
That's the one I'm reading.
But The Miracle Morning, game changer, life changer, rocked my world. Miracle Morning. It will reset your entire life.
Yes.
Habits, lifestyle, everything. Okay. Number 2, after that book, read The One Thing by Jay Papasan and Gary Keller.
Yeah, I love that book.
Game changer, rocked my world. Okay, so one's about lifestyle and mentality. The next one, let's get your priorities straight. All right. And then if you are in sales, if you are in any kind of entrepreneurship situation, the next book, very simple read, What Everybody Says. And I mean every body. It's a body language book. All right. Because we're in sales. You're sitting across the table. I need to be able to read what you're not saying. All right. So now I know how to read and see what you're saying and then never split the difference. Now I know how to speak to you. All right. Because a lot of times homeowners don't exactly know what they want. They think they know what they want. And then we get really full of ourselves and go, oh, no, you don't want that. I know what you want. And I can tell you, but they don't want to be told.
Right.
But let me show you. Let me bring you back to your priorities. Let me bring you back to what's important to you, whether it's the numbers, the home life, the children, or the lifestyle. We often have to come back to when you get to the 11th hour of a contract and somebody's arguing over a gutter or a tree or a light fixture or something. Let's come back to why we're doing this. What is your big why? What is your purpose here? So your mindset, your priorities, how to read what people's bodies are telling you, and how to speak to people. And those are your 4 staples. And then it's not just about business. It'll change your marriage. It'll change your friendships. It'll change the way you speak to people.
Need that
book. I am telling you what. And honestly, there's times where I feel like I have superpowers. Like I can change the flow of this whole conversation and direct somebody. And it's not that I'm manipulating them. I'm just speaking to them in the language that they need to be spoken to.
Right.
Because for so many years, I thought everybody thought like I did. 1 + 2 = 3. And in this book, it says, we think A, then B, then C, then D, but we're emotional creatures. We're habitual creatures. We're victims of our upbringing. And I don't mean victims, but we are creations of our upbringing. So you have to understand where somebody's coming from before you can understand where they are or where they want to be.
That is
That's dope.
So that was 4 books.
4 books.
I think I'm reading
in
3 of
order.
those. Yeah.
In order. You have to grow yourself into these books.
Well, that is lovely. Share your Instagram.
Ask Mechelle, and Mechelle is MECHELLE. So it's Ask Mechelle _realtor. Follow me.
Definitely follow her. Cosette, what's yours?
Mine is not so creative or fun. It is straight to the point. Cosette recruits realtors. Okay. And it should be Cosette grows realtors, grows businesses, and change your life.
Yes.
So at Cosette recruits realtors.
Well, mine's on Insta. You can definitely find me on Instagram at Mr._real estate VA. Of course, it's your favorite realtor's realtor. We're signing off with Mechelle. Thank you for coming to our very first episode of the Real Estate Chase.
Thank you for having me.
This was an amazing show. Thank you for all the sponsors. Thank you, Cosette.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Keller Williams Coastal, Virginia. And till the next time on the Real Estate Chase.
All right.